Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mr. Mini and welcome to Liquid Go Pairings. Now you'll remember in our introductory episode of Liquid Go Pairings, I said that Liquid Go Pairings is about the exploration of the culture of luxury beverages, including wines, spirits, beers, ciders, and non-alcoholic beverages. Now I said that the primary objective of Liquid Go Pairings is to explore how these beverages may be enjoyed by pairing them with fine foods, luxury goods, lifestyle, and the experiences in which we usually enjoy these beverages. So in today's episode of Liquid Go Pairings, I want to guide us through the 5 fundamental steps of wine tasting. First is glass selection. Second is swirling. Third is looking. Fourth is smelling. And fifth is, of course, the wine tasting itself, sipping. Wine glasses come in either of 3 basic shapes, namely the red wine glass, which is typically goblet or chalice shaped, has a wide rim for a mouth. This allows for the red wine to breathe, which is to say as much air for the purposes of getting as much oxygen into the wine as possible. This will help to bring out the aromas and flavors of the wine forth. And then secondly, we have the white wine glass. The white wine glass is typically tulip shaped, like the tulip flower. It has a smaller rim for mouth compared to the red wine. This will allow for the wine to air, but not to the same degree as in the case of red wine. White wine doesn't need as much airing as red wine. And then lastly, we have, of course, the champagne flute, which is taller, has a smaller mouth for a rim compared to both the red wine and the white wine glass. And the sort of slenderness of the glass and its length helps to keep the effervescence, which is the bubbles in the champagne, in as long as possible. Now for the second step in wine tasting, having poured the wine in your selected glass, we now need to aerate it. We achieve this by swirling the wine. This is for the purpose of getting as much air, which is to say oxygen, into the wine as possible. As you'll remember, this will help to bring the flavors and the aromas of the wine forward. For the purposes of this video, I'll use some carbonated water. Having poured the wine, to achieve aeration, a simple gentle swirl is all you need to do. You don't want to lasso it like you Dumbledore in Harry Potter. Just a gentle swirl is all you need to do. You're getting as much oxygen into the wine as possible. That's all you do. Swirl, swirl, gently, gently. For the third step in wine tasting, having swirled the wine to get as much oxygen into it as possible, you now need to have a good look at the wine, which is really about seeing through the wine. In many ways, at least for me, a lot of the degree of the quality of wine is determined by its color and clarity. So when you're looking through the wine, you want to see through it without sort of detecting any particles floating around, any precipitate, and of course the color of the wine. Now coming to the fourth step in wine tasting, which is about smelling the wine, you want to take a really good sniff of it to get the bouquet of aromas and fragrances in the wine. So really just a good whiff of the wine. For me, this is probably second to the actual tasting of the wine, my favorite part of wine tasting. You'd be amazed at how aromatic and fragrant a lot of wines are. So take a good deep breath, a couple of sniffs. What maybe a lot of us might not know is that a great deal of your ability to taste food, to taste beverages, actually comes from smelling. So you want to take a good whiff of your wine. Now we come to the crowning jewel of wine tasting. That is the tasting itself. You want to take a couple of sips of the wine. Needless to say, of course, in this demonstration, I'm using water. But you want to take a couple of sips and swirl the wine around in your mouth, over your tongue, in the different regions and areas of your tongue, and try to determine what flavors are coming out. Of course, a lot of the wine tasting itself highly depends, your ability to detect the flavors highly depends on your past experiences and your memories. So for example, if you've never tasted plums in your life, the likelihood of you being able to identify plums or associate a particular flavor with plums is minimal. Rather, you might, your memory might bring to mind other foods or beverages or or smells, whatever the case may be. But this is where a lot of wine tasting is pretty much a personal experience that has to do with your life experiences. So go ahead and take a good couple of sips. Allow the wine to sit in your mouth and swirl it around in your mouth using your tongue, and see what flavors you are able to detect. Caution, for those who don't know, that in wine tasting, do not make the mistake of swallowing the wine. After you're done with the sort of swirling it around in your mouth and detecting the taste, you want to spit it out into a bucket or a spittoon, whatever it is that you have at hand, and you go on with whatever other wines that you want to taste. But if it's just one wine that you're tasting, then go ahead and swallow and enjoy. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for the second episode of Liquid Gold Pairings. I hope you enjoyed it. I welcome your comments, your criticisms, any requests for a particular wine that you'd like me to review on the show. I'll be more than happy to do that. Thank you. Thank you for watching this installment of Liquid Gold Pairings. Please join me every day at 3 p.m. Johannesburg time for a new installment of Liquid Gold Pairings.